Dark Discoveries is a podcast that dives into the darker corners of history, mystery, and the downright bizarre. We discuss real events that may include graphic details, adult themes, and strong language. Not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
We're here to inform, entertain, and maybe make you laugh nervous in public, but never to glorify the criminals or make light of their victims. Our research is thorough, but hey, we're not perfect.
We don't claim to be historians, so if we get something slightly off, blame Jimbo. All opinions are our own, and sometimes even those are questionable.
All right, guys, welcome back to this special episode of Dark Discoveries. I'm your host, Jimbo, and I'm joined today, as always, by
Jackie.
Dustin.
And tonight we are joined by two very special ladies from the You Two Scare Me podcast. Ladies, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Andi, and I'm Feliz, and we're so happy to be here.
Well, I don't know. You might change your mind by the time we get done.
They say they've listened, but have they really?
So Andi and Feliz, their podcast they do is all the way from down in Key West, Florida, down there in the sunny state while we're up here freezing. But ladies, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you here. It's been a long time coming. The way all this came about. Oh, sorry. We also have Kiara here sitting in with us, another teacher. So Kiara, welcome. But the way all this started, I think it was Feliz that was, I guess, messing around on TikTok one day, and she responded to a video that Dustin had put out about H.H. Holmes and Jack the Ripper, I do believe. And she said, I just followed and I can't wait to listen. So I responded like, hey, this is a shared account between me and Dustin, you know. And I said, maybe we could do a collaboration at some point in the future if you guys are up for it.
Immediate regret, right, ladies? It's good.
I mean, this was all the way back in July. Okay, it's like 5 months later now, right?
Yeah, early days.
Oh my gosh!
The first of like 5 TikToks.
Back when we were trying to be professional, now we just given up.
Because one thing you'll notice with Feliz is you'll message her and then like 4 days later she'll respond and you're like, oh,
Hey, that's my kind of girl. Yes.
That's not my secret.
Hey, you and me both, honey. I can't return a message to save my soul.
But during that time, Feliz, you had a TikTok that blew up to like 1.5 million or higher, and I know you were too busy responding to all those, so that's okay.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Yeah, and also we're teachers, so we were on summer break, and so we're not very reliable on summer break. Squeeze every minute out of that break.
All right, so before we get started into our special collaboration episode on cursed objects, I have a couple questions I'd like to ask you guys just to let people know who you are, where they can find you, and all that. So my first question is, how did you two meet?
Oh, you want to go? Okay. I lived in Key West years ago. Feliz has been here this whole time. It was our first day of school, and we were both locked out of the school trying to figure out how to get in, being the good little teachers that we were there early. And we're walking around, are you working here? Are you working here? What's your name? And I was like, oh, hi, I'm Andrea. And I was like, I'm Feliz. But she goes, hi, I'm Andrea. But my friends call me Andi. And I was like, oh my gosh. She wants to be friends. I walked on and didn't let go.
That's how I met Kira. I was like, nope, she's mine.
Yeah. It was a journey. Yeah. So that was about over 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I think. And we've all, we immediately, we're besties. And we both love spooky things. And we always were like, we should do a podcast. Oh, yeah, we should do that. That'd be great. Yeah. And then Andi moved away. And that was like heartbreaking, deep depression. Yeah, that was terrible. And then she moved back last year, and she got back, and I was like, "Welcome back. We have to do this podcast now." So yeah.
Well, that's good because that was my second question: is what made you want to start a podcast? And I think you already answered that one.
I think we just always, I don't know, we are just very crazy and goofy together.
Ridiculous. Like when we go places, we are always laughing so loud. People are looking around and like, oh geez, but then they kind of want to hang out with us. So we're like, hey.
I can relate to that.
Well,
That's good.
yeah.
That's good.
All right. Question number 3. Have either of you personally ever experienced something paranormal? And I know the answer to this because I've listened to some of your or all your podcasts actually, but I'll let you let the listeners in.
Well, yes, we both have. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I'll keep it kind of brief, but I had an experience in our house in Jacksonville when my kids were little, and actually my son kept seeing something, and it turned out that I also was experiencing something, and then my husband did, and it was like noises and a shadow figure and banging on the walls, and we, eventually I had to get a little help. It was like a little scary. It wasn't like a fun ghost. It was a little bit something darker, I think. But it turned out that my husband, he was military then, and he had just come back from a trip he was on a deployment, and he happened to be in Guantanamo Bay when a big earthquake happened in Haiti. And he was doing rescue operations over there. So I think he brought something back, to be honest. And so we had to do a little cleansing. And we were able to get it to quiet down. But the next we rented the house out for a few years after that. And the next 2 sets of tenants had asked us or the neighbors if they had experienced anything in the house too. So I don't know. I think we made it kind of calm down, but I don't know that it went anywhere.
There's 2 questions I always ask when you buy a house or rent. A, is there a homeowners association? B,
That's just as scary.
B, is it haunted? And then a garage is just kind of the third bonus, but you got to make sure nobody's died and it's not haunted. That's like the first most important question. Somebody just bought our neighbor's house and he passed away in the house about a year ago. And I'm like, should I tell the people that Ben died in that house?
No.
Oh my gosh. I have the exact same thing. Right now, I have neighbors that moved in, but the neighbor before them passed away in the house.
And he was a young guy.
I don't know what to tell him either. And then Andy, you want to tell?
And then I grew up in the same house my whole life. It's an old Victorian from the 1800s, and my family was the first family to live there that wasn't part of the family that built it. And so our ghost is a little friendlier. That she likes to hide things and make some noises and turn on like this little music box ornament and flash the lights. And just lately she's been she's found her voice, and so she's been saying some things to my parents. So when I go up for Christmas, I'm bringing all of my ghost stuff with me to see what's happening there.
Yeah, you don't have to live there once you leave.
And I do believe Feliz
Exactly,
said,
right?
I do believe Feliz said she was coming, and you could bring your Ouija board, is what I heard. All right, so you guys have something in common with Jackie and myself here. We are both big Pee Wee Herman fans.
Yes.
So that's one thing when I was listening to your podcast early on, and you said you were talking about the there's no basement in the Alamo and all that. I said, these are our kind of people.
I quote that probably once a recording session with these guys.
So
I love it.
I also host another podcast called The Tragedy of Cinema. I always ask this question. We'll take Pee-wee's Big Adventure out of this, but what is your favorite movie, or 2 or 3 if you can't narrow it down to just one?
Ooh. Well, we just talked about this on our last episode, but I would say Jaws is one of my very favorite movies of all time. I feel like it's a perfect movie.
Oh, Jaws is a good one. I actually really enjoy Gremlins.
Yes.
Gremlins.
I mean, it's a great time of year to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Christmas movie. For sure.
We just had this conversation.
Okay, now this might hinder our relationship. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh no!
We were so close to
You
becoming
have
friends.
crossed the
I was
Mason
gonna say all
Dixon.
4 of our jaws just dropped. We're like, no.
No, that's just we have a diehard ornament right there.
Oh no!
All right, we'll allow it.
There's one question that has to be answered if we can be friends or not.
Okay.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Harry Potter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Feliz, I expected more out of you.
I was like, uh-oh.
They're shaming me over
we
here
gang
over
up
this.
on Dustin because we're Lord of the Rings
Hey,
people over
well,
here.
in all facts, Dustin hasn't watched Lord of the Rings, so
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, I don't know. I like that little ring guy.
all right. So before we dive in, what's the where everybody can reach you on the social medias, or where can they find the You Two Scare Me podcast or your email? If they got I know you always ask for ghost stories or paranormal stories they can send in. If you want to give all that information right here, we'll clean all that out of the way to get started.
Awesome. We are always looking for paranormal stories, ghost stories, cryptids. Police loves the aliens. I do not. And all of that weird stuff. You can send it to us via email at you2scaremepodcast@gmail.com. YOUTWO scaremepodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And you can also go to our website, which is just www.you2scaremepodcast. And we have a contact page there. And we are available on all the socials. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as you said. Just search us up.
And don't worry, Feliz will eventually answer you.
I was actually on vacation when that one video went crazy viral. I was on vacation. I spent my whole vacation sitting on the beach, like feverishly, like trying to respond to comments about people's favorite cryptid. It was weird. I don't know. It was an out of body experience. But,
Just please tell me you don't sit on the beach in Florida on vacation.
no, I was in Mexico.
Okay. You got to go somewhere besides Florida if you're going to be on the beach.
Just regular.
Just don't come to Indiana. That's a downgrade.
All right, so
No, we would love a little change of scenery.
so would we.
Yeah, we would too. It's really flat here.
We had 7 inches of snow last night, so
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be like, a high of 19 tomorrow?
Oh my gosh.
all right. So I think that's all the questions that I have. So there's only one thing left to ask, ladies.
Shall we dive in?
All right, Jackie, take it away.
All right. So tonight I am taking you guys to Horicon, Wisconsin to talk about the Tallman Haunted Bunk Beds. Haunted bunk beds for your children, folks. This is great. All right.
That's why I fall out.
I hope it's about a brother just kicking his sister off the top bunk as she dies and haunts you.
That would have been like my childhood haunt right there. It was good.
It was a ghost.
I swear.
Again.
So the family, Alan and Debbie Tallman, and their 3 children in Horicon, Wisconsin, formerly a small town in Dodge County, Wisconsin. The time frame would have been February 1987 to January 11th, 1988. So not a full year, but darn close. And then the object in question, a secondhand wooden bunk bed purchased for their 2 young daughters from a thrift store in the early 80s. This case became nationally known and was featured on Unsolved Mysteries Season 1, Episode 3, October 1988. They actually did film inside the house, which is actually kind of neat, but the family had moved and the bunk bed was gone. So they recreated the bunk bed to air in this series, which is kind of interesting. So, early activity. Some say sources, nothing strange happened before the bed arrived. Others note that at least one odd event happened in the house prior. A babysitter reported that a kitchen chair began rocking and bouncing by itself while she played a game with the talisman's 7-year-old son. The boy later confirmed that this is what was seen. Alan also later recalled an odd feeling and minor disturbances, but the serious activity was consistently said to start after the bunk bed had arrived. So there may have been some minor weirdnesses at first, but the family found themselves tied to the real escalation once the bunk bed arrived. The Talismans bought the secondhand bunk bed and brought it home in February of 1987. They assembled it and set it up in the room that had been their son's, moving him into the smaller bedroom and giving the larger room to their daughters. Almost immediately after this change is when everything happened. On the very first night, their son slept in the smaller bedroom. His clock radio kept changing stations by itself. Do you remember clock radios?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, I loved waking up to the AM.
Hey, you know what's even better is we had an old lady that was a neighbor, and I mean, she was real old, and she was real frugal. And my mom used to drag me over there every Christmas because she'd buy her something, and we'd have to sit there, and she'd have to cut the paper off and save it and all that, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess what present? She's like, oh, I got you something. Guess what she gave me?
Clock radio.
It was a
Clock
hamburger
radio.
helper hand clock radio that she had saved up, and it was a little glove kit.
That's so cute. Aw.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the only thing that would make it better is if it was the Pillsbury Dough's boy. You know, it's like, woo!
Clock radios are the only way I woke up for high school because it's the loudest alarm clock you can get.
That and like, yeah, it was alarming to wake up to a commercial as opposed to a song. It's like, oh yeah, okay. But all right, so he reported that the station was different, but that he had watched the dial itself moving on its own. So it wasn't just the radio station; he was watching the physical hand moving back and forth across the clock. I wish you guys could see that because I'm just like waving my finger like a magician right now.
You are getting sleepy.
That's exactly. I'm hypnotizing the guys. So over time, other electronics, especially radios, were reported to turn off, turn on, change channels, or malfunction without any apparent real cause. As months went by, the activity started to intensify. The main claims are consistent across interviews with newspapers, summaries, and later articles. The youngest daughter was often heard talking and giggling late at night. At first, they assumed she was playing with toys. Eventually, she started running into her parents' room terrified, asking, "Do you hear it?" and reporting strange sounds around the bed. All three children at different times reported seeing figures or hearing disembodied voices in their near bedroom with the bunk bed. One of the most famous parts of the story, the children claimed to see an ugly old woman with long black hair and face like a hag, bathed in a red-orange fiery glow, standing near the bunk bed. Could you imagine as a kid waking up and be like, "Oh no, she's back!
Oh no, Jackie's back.
Oh, I will take you down." All right, that's fair.
Why do a lady come with the bed?
Yeah, it's fair. I do have red-orange hair, so I'll allow it. That's good.
Oh my God.
All right. But a grown relative that didn't believe in the hauntings agreed to stay overnight to help their kids. While putting them to bed, he saw the same horrifying figure and allegedly ran from the room screaming. That would be something that my dad would do because he is not into paranormal. I got to tell on him a little because he's a large man. My husband, good Lord, my father is a Blackfoot Sioux Native American, very tall man. And yeah, it's hilarious because I'll never forget. I was telling literally this story today. We had a wolf spider, probably the size of a 50-cent piece, running through the house one day.
Oh my gosh, no.
And it was like hauling ass. And we're like, "Dad, save us!" You know, and he like comes through and he saw that thing. And I've never seen my dad run away. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That thing charged my father, and my father took off like it was a bull. It was amazing. So yeah, I can only imagine that when they said that this person ran from the room, that was my father running from the spider. So yes. All right. So this solidified with the family that something external was really going on. It wasn't just the kids' imaginations. It wasn't just the children now having these issues. So chairs began moving and rocking on their own. A basement paintbrush that Alan had left in a paint tray was later found stuck bristle down in the paint can as if someone had deliberately jabbed it in there. A basement window was found removed from its frame and neatly propped up against the wall with no signs of a break-in or vandalism. Yeah, it's starting to get kind of fishy. But Alan,
Yeah.
Alan Tallman, initially the skeptic, ended up having some of the most intense experiences. One night, Alan drove home from work, parked, and started towards the house. He was hearing a strange howling sound and loud and clear voice yelling, "Come here," from the direction of the garage. Thinking it was a person trying to scare him, he went closer. He reported that inside the garage, glowing orange-red, with flames seemingly to come out from underneath and around the garage door, and he saw two eyes staring at him from the window.
That is horrifying.
Yeah. Suddenly, the glow of the eyes disappeared. There was no fire, no smoke, nothing physically wrong with the garage. One night, Alan slept. Yeah. One night, Alan slept in the girls' room on the bunk bed because the girls were too frightened. And he said he watched a thick fog rise from the floor, took on the fiery appearance, and formed a green, glowing eyes. A voice came from within it saying, "You're dead." And then the voice and vision vanished. Yeah.
Oh, God. I have chills. Oh,
Right? It's like, I just, that's the scary thing is this is happening in the kids' room. And yeah.
yeah.
At one point, frustrated and protective, Alan reported shouting into the house, "If you're going to bother someone, bother me. Leave my kids alone." He's provoking it at this point, which is never a good idea. After that, the focus of the phenomenon seemed to shift more towards him. Hence the "do not provoke." All right. So the talisman brought in their pastor, and who reportedly felt a strong malevolent presence and concluded that something demonic might be involved. He prayed and blessed the house, and for a time the activity quieted down, but slowly began to resume, with the radios acting up, strange sounds, and the ongoing terror near the children's bunk beds. By late 1987, the family was sleep-deprived, anxious, and constantly afraid. The final night is fairly well documented, including local newspapers and later retrospects. January 11th of 1988, a skeptical relative witnessed the burning hag old lady in the room where the bunk beds. She screamed and fled. Debbie decided this was it. The family packed up the kids in the middle of the night in their Wisconsin winter and left, vowing to never sleep there again. They initially went to stay with relatives and then permanently moved into another town. The Talismans were convinced the bunk bed itself were the focus of the haunting. About 2 weeks after fleeing the house, Alan arranged to have the bunk bed taken to a private dump where it was smashed and destroyed, then buried so that no one else could ever use this. After that, the Talisman reported no further paranormal activity in their new home. The next family who moved into the Huracan's house also reported no haunting, and the Unresolved Mysteries crew did not experience anything while they were filming there. So kind of an interesting little story there. But I do have something to tie into that. Do you ladies, have you ever heard of a gentleman by the name of John Tenney?
I haven't.
Okay.
I don't think so.
He is out of Detroit, Michigan, and he is a ufologist. And
Ooh, okay.
Tenney discovered...
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Tenney actually covered a case a while back that a family had built a garage, and every time they went into it, they were feeling these intense, overwhelming anger, and they were having strange visions. And every time they were in the garage, it was almost problematic. And so Tenney went and he was investigating. And while he was there, he became angry. And he was a very calm, funny, patient man, very professional. And for him to have this, he started getting kind of concerned. So he asked for the company that had built the garage. They sent over the information, and he started doing some digging, and he talked to a receptionist. The company that purchased all of the lumber had actually taken apart things from a former insane asylum and repurposed them and sold them. So the family actually had the garage torn down and had a new one built in, and they don't have any issues. But what's really interesting is shortly after John found all this information out and turned it over to the family, the company went under, but all that lumber had been dispersed and sent out across the United States at this point.
No.
And that's why I don't shop at IKEA.
So, it's quite possible that objects can take on this kind of stuff. I mean, you got to think about what that stuff was made of. But yeah, could you imagine sitting in a chair like, 10 years down the road and you're like, God, I'm so pissed, and it's like, because you bought it from a weird place. It's like, oh, this is why you always look at what you do. But yes, thrift stores and antique stores are the way to go. So yeah, that is Wisconsin.
Yikes. Wow. That was awesome.
That was full of twists and turns.
Absolutely.
I got really nervous when you mentioned the ufologist. Oh, no.
No, Tenny is a really amazing guy. And he's one of those that I'll have to turn you guys on to some of his podcasts and stories and things. He is he's the real deal, and he's got some real scary stuff that he's got to be a part of. So definitely a fun guy to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh, good story.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'd love to kick it over to you. Let's see what we got. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so interestingly, I also have a cursed piece of furniture.
Oh, see, I'm telling you.
Is it a toilet seat? Please be a toilet seat.
I'm hoping it's something linked to Charles Manson.
Oh, no. Who would hope that? That is a very strange and specific thing to hope for. Okay.
Right. So when I was trying to decide what to do for this, I was like, okay, what does it mean to be cursed? Well, you have to cause harm or do something terrible. And this piece of furniture has a pretty big body count.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Not in the dirty way, guys. Calm down.
Oh, dang it. We've lost Dustin.
I'm like, your students and your students' parents listen to this.
So how many STDs can you get from this chair? That's all we need to know.
All of them.
Oh my gosh. So tonight we'll dive into the story of the Conjure chest. And fair warning, the story has a lot of names and should probably come with a family tree, but we'll try our best to follow along. So this starts around 1830 in Meade County, Kentucky. And there was a terrible man named Jeremiah Graham who was getting ready for his first child's birth. He ordered one of his enslaved men to build a chest for his baby. And that enslaved man's name was Remus. So the chest was hand-carved. It's made of mahogany. It has 4 drawers, leaf details, and turned legs. It's beautiful. Despite the careful work, Jeremiah was not satisfied with the chest. Accounts say that he beat Remus so severely, Remus died from his injuries. Mm. So the other enslaved people on the farm were horrified and furious. So to avenge him, they sprinkled dried owl blood inside the drawers and placed a curse, a conjure, on the chest. It's said that the conjure was so powerful that the curse would continue from generation to generation. And so Jeremiah either ignored that or didn't know enough about it. So the chest was moved into the nursery, and almost immediately the deaths began. So, first, number 1 death, Jeremiah's son, the baby for whom the chest was built. After his clothes were placed into the chest, he died shortly after in infancy. Death 2, Jeremiah's twin brother, Jonathan Graham, had a son whose clothing was also stored in the chest. On his 21st birthday, that son was stabbed by his body servant and died. So by this point, the family's getting a little spooked. And they're like, okay, this chest might be a problem. So their sister-in-law, Amanda, she hid the chest in the attic. But it didn't stop there. Eventually, Amanda tries to be a nice sister and sends it to her sister, Catherine. Amanda was wealthy. Catherine and her husband, John, were not. They were poor farmers. So Amanda said, oh, we'll bring some fine things and cheer into their life on the farm. She sent the chest to them. They both used it. So John Ryan is pissed because he's tired of being poor. He has this chest and he knows what wealth can be like. So he says, all right, he's going to go to New Orleans and get some extra money. And while he was on his way there, he dies in this ridiculous accident. The same week, Catherine's health failed and she died. So we're up to 4 body count for now. Their children didn't have parents, so they were divided up, sent to live with other family members. One of their children was named Eliza Ryan. So Eliza was said to be stunningly beautiful. She got married to John David Gregory when she was 16, and the chest found its way to their home. They had a daughter named Louise Gregory. Shortly after Louise's clothing was placed in the chest, she died at the age of 10. Eliza and John David also had a son who got married to a woman named Stella. Stella put her wedding clothes in the chest after their wedding. Within 2 years, Stella was also dead. At that time, they also had a relative named Mabel who was living with them. And she married this guy named Wilbur. They had a baby boy, Chester, in 1901. They put the baby's clothes in the chest, and he died 2 weeks later.
Jeez.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
This is the prize that no one wants to win.
Sham, wow.
Ma'am.
So later, Wilbur, who had been the dad, he himself put his own clothes in the chest because, can't let a good piece of furniture go to waste.
Oh, no.
And he died shortly thereafter. So we'll move back to the Gregory family. There was Lucy Gregory. She knitted gloves and a scarf for her son, Emmett, and hid them in the conjure chest as a Christmas surprise.
Oh, no.
In December 1909, Emmett stepped off a train, fell 30 feet through a trestle, and died instantly.
Dang it, Grandma. Oh, okay.
I know. Come on. Why would you hide them in there? There should be a different place to hide.
Yeah, I know.
So this next one, things are looking up here. It's not a literal death, this one, but they counted among the chest tragedies. So Nellie Gregory was a daughter of Eliza that we met before. She placed her wedding clothes in the chest before she got married to Fred. Fred abandoned her, which was a social and emotional disaster. So the family includes that as a misfortune caused by the conjure chest.
And that might just be a big jerk.
Yeah, I mean, but the family was like, "Oh my gosh, this is."
We're talking body counts here, and I think he put a notch on his and left.
So back to John David Gregory and Eliza, and so they got married, when she was 16, like we mentioned. John eventually dies. After he dies, Eliza rearranges the house, moves the chest into her own bedroom, and then, not very long later, takes her own life. Next, the chest went to Louisville with Virginia Carey Hudson Cleveland, who was Eliza's granddaughter, and her husband, Curtly. They just don't make names like this anymore. Okay. So Virginia places her first child's baby clothes inside. Like, why?
Yeah,
I was going to say, has no one looked into this at this point? It's like, wow.
I'm right. I mean, so she puts the baby's clothes in. The baby was born prematurely and died that same day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
It's awful. So Virginia and Curtly had another daughter, Anne. She placed her clothing in the chest. Luckily, hey, bright spot, she didn't die, but she got polio and had terrible health her entire life.
Aww. Consolation prize? I guess.
Right. I mean, that's a little bit of a bright spot. So Virginia and Curtly have another daughter, Virginia Hudson Cleveland, who marries a guy named Wilbur and puts her wedding clothes in the chest. And so they got married in 1943. In December 1944, Wilbur died from an ether overdose during an appendectomy.
Oh, okay.
The curse of the Cleveland steamer.
Then the Cleveland's young neighbor, Herbert Sonny, put his hunting clothes in the chest, and on April 5th, 1946, was killed in a gun accident at a neighbor's home. Whew. Then Virginia and Curtly also had a son, Richard. He put his clothes in the chest. Less than a week later, he was stabbed at school through the hand. He survived, but they blamed his misfortune on the chest.
But nobody gets rid of it this whole time.
Right. It's beautiful.
I was just like, you could end this at any point.
Right. We're getting to the end. Don't worry.
Oh, no. Not you. I was talking about the family.
I know. Like at this point, that was number 17 there.
Good grief.
Is there anybody left in the family tree?
I was just saying,
Yeah, the people who pass it along to somebody else.
either that or they're really banking on these insurance claims.
Right. I mean, and that poor neighbor, he just was like, oh, let me just put my stuff in here. And
Like, yes, please, go right ahead.
yeah. They're like, we have just the place. So by this point, Virginia Cleveland is terrified that the chest is going to kill and claim another life. So she asks Sally, the family maid, who had worked for them for most of her life, if she knew how to break a conjure. Sally said, actually, I do. But
Glad
and
you
I've known
asked.
this whole time. I'm just waiting for you to ask. But the ritual required a price, so it's very specific. She said to break the curse, Virginia had to, 1, receive a dead owl brought unasked by a friend. Whoa. 2, gather leaves from a willow tree, which was also planted by a friend. Boil the leaves for 1 full day in the sight of the dead owl. And then bury the liquid in a jug, handle facing east, beneath a flowering bush.
And then take an axe and beat the crap out of the chest.
Right. And then dump it in the river. No. So if the curse lifted, Sally warned her, quote, either you or I will die before all the leaves fall from the bush in the fall. So, fun fact, they had a stuffed owl a friend had given them. And they also... I know. Like they're looking around and she's like, oh shoot, I have this extra.
I got one of those.
That's perfect. Let's use this. And then they're talking and then they realized that they had an old friend who they knew had planted a willow tree. She didn't live in that house anymore. They didn't even know if the tree was alive. They took a little trip over to check it out. The tree was alive and well. And it said that they took 16 leaves off the tree while the current resident just looked out their window in shock.
What are you doing?
So they took 16 leaves, 1 for each person they counted as affected by the curse. The ritual was performed, and Sally died that September.
Oh, no.
So it was just like she said.
Yeah.
So if we count the death of Sally, as well as the death of Remus, the chest maker, that brings the death and misfortune toll associated with the conjure chest to 18.
Jeez.
Oh, this is affecting a whole lot of people over, 100 years' time.
Yeah.
So Virginia Carey Hudson Maine, who was the daughter of Virginia, who, went to Sally for the curse, she is super scared of this thing. And so she donates the chest to the Kentucky Historical Society in 1976, specifying it must never be used for storage again. Today, the conjure chest rests quietly in the Kentucky Historical Society, untouched, unused, and carefully watched. The museum does not allow anything to be placed in it. So, to this day, owl feathers remain in the top drawer of the conjure chest, believed to keep the curse dormant. So, next time you buy an antique or vintage chest, maybe make sure it doesn't have a history or a body count like the conjure chest.
Is that stored in Louisville?
So it's at the Kentucky Historical Society, which I think is I can't remember what town it's in when I read it. But
I'm just saying I work in Louisville, and I will go put a coat in the top drawer of this chest. What do you think?
No!
Can I ask whose coat?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take Dustin's coat.
As long as it's not mine, buddy.
But
It looks like it's in Frankfurt, so not very
not
far.
very
Yeah, Frankfurt. Yeah.
Well, that's not far at all for us.
well, there's
Oh my gosh.
there's something else I learned from your story. That means that Dustin, me and you got free permission just to throw clothes on our floor instead of putting them away because when the wife asks what are you doing, because I don't want to die.
I'm saving your life.
So don't buy any like really nice mahogany 4-drawer, chest
Yeah.
at a flea
They
market
actually
or
say
a
it's like the third drawer.
or an antique
It's the back
okay.
row is the third one.
an antique store, and don't let nobody will it to you. Like, no, you can. I'll get it eventually. You can keep it.
Yeah. Man.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was a lot of people.
I'm just shocked. I mean, after all these deaths, all within like almost 2 weeks of putting them in there, it's like nobody had the bright idea to be like, let's not pass this on.
Right. Well, like Amanda was like, okay, I'll hide it. And then she's like, oh, just kidding. Here you go, sister.
Right?
But I wonder how long it took them to make that connection.
True.
It could take several deaths before they realize. Well, what did we all eat
Yeah.
the same thing?
Yeah.
Did we all go to the same
Yeah.
place?
I
It
thought
took a while.
I thought the poor farmer was like on the right track when he was like, oh, he was going to go make some money. I thought he was going to sell it because
Yeah.
it's mahogany, it's expensive. You just sell it and move on. But
That's
not
a
that smart.
family heirloom. How much that set you back there, Clark? That's good.
Yeah, and it felt like his death was like really weird. It was like he got hit in the head with a trestle or something. It was really weird.
Oh, gosh. That would hurt coming at you. Man. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Andy, was that the end of your story?
That's it. Yeah, that's the conjure chest. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right.
That was me with H.H. Holmes after like the second month of doing research. I'm like, I'm good. I don't ever want to talk about it again.
You're like, right? Yeah.
So I'm going to take you across the ocean. We're going over to China. And we are going to talk about the Shanghai Opera earrings. Does anybody ever heard of the Shanghai Opera earrings?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. In the early 1900s, the world of Chinese opera was a place of elegance, rivalry, and superstition. Costumes shimmered with embroidered dragons, instruments echoed in narrow back rooms, and performers fought for top billing in a fiercely competitive world. Jackie, you're a theater nerd.
Yes.
Is top billing that big of a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Top billing is you're the person everybody's paying to come and see.
Okay, well, there you go. But among all the artifacts that passed through the dressing rooms and backstage corridors, none became more feared than a delicate pair of jade earrings known today as the Shanghai Opera earrings.
Do you know about these, Kiera? I don't either. Okay. I was going to say, she's another theater nerd. We got this. Okay.
So there are no surviving record names of the jeweler or the original owner of these things. They were first documented in 1908, discovered among the effects of a retiring opera matron who abruptly fled the theater world. She claimed they belonged to an actress who heard whispers in empty rooms and warned the manager never to let anyone wear them on stage. But like a man, he didn't listen.
They're pretty.
Go
They'll be fine.
So, actress number one. The first recorded wearer, and I'm going to butcher names. These are Chinese names, so I do not understand these names, so forgive me. I did learn something today that Feliz is fluent Korean translator.
Sorry,
that?
did you hear
Well,
that?
No, I didn't
I
want to.
used to be.
We'll have
That was a
to
long time ago.
play back. Yeah.
All right, so the first recorded wearer was Lu Yan, a young soprano whose popularity was skyrocketing. The moment she put on the earrings, she complained of a strange pressure in the room, like being watched from the shadows. Ooh. On the night of her performance, the stage's suspended lantern rig malfunctioned. Heavy lights crashed onto the set, crushing the area right where Lu Yan stood. She died instantly. Stagehands later
it's like
swore
Phantom of the Opera.
the lights had been inspected minutes earlier. The earrings were unharmed.
Oh.
Man,
And jade is a very delicate stone. It doesn't take much for jade to break.
right. So how
That's
did they
interesting.
survive?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've hung those lights. It takes a couple of people sometimes.
They're kind of heavy.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, like you say, they can be lethal if they fall.
Well, they were.
Yeah, clearly.
All right, actress number 2. The next known wearer was Zhao Mylin, a veteran actress known for dismissing superstition. She purchased the earrings from a pawn shop unaware of their past.
Oh no.
Oops.
During a performance in 1912, silk curtains behind her suddenly ignited despite no open flame being present. The fire spread with disturbing speed. Zhao Mylin was trapped and suffered fatal burns.
What year was this?
1912.
Okay, so they still could have been using like gaslight.
But there was no lights lit, is what they're saying.
I'm almost wondering about the ghost light.
And it says survivors claim the fire moved, quote, as if it were chasing her.
Interesting.
The earrings were found in the ashes perfectly intact.
What happened to her?
Well, she got burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
KFC finger licking. She's gone.
But the earrings are okay. Okay.
She gone.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. It was alluded, but I wasn't sure. I just needed the
I have to spell
clarification.
it out for you.
Please do. Yes.
Actress number 3. Years passed before the earrings resurfaced. In 1921, they were gifted to Lin Qiu. I don't know. I don't know.
Lin Q?
Lin Q is what I'm going to call her. An ambitious performer hoping for her big break. Within a week, she told colleagues she heard applause in empty corridors and saw shadows standing at the back of rehearsal halls. During a rehearsal atop an elevated set, she lost her footing and fell headfirst onto the wooden boards below. Witnesses said she appeared to be pushed, though no one was near her. Once again, the earrings survived.
Interesting.
Actress number 4, The Survivor. The only known wearer who survived was Chen Hua, who donned the earrings in 1927. She reported the following chilling phenomena. Do, 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 do.
Do, 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 do.
We have to train ourselves.
You know I've listened to all your stuff. All right. So she would hear applauses when she practiced alone. Soft voices speaking lines from plays she wasn't rehearsing. A tall, shadowy figure standing in her mirror. A cold hand brushing her neck. She returned the earrings to the costume mistress after only 3 days, insisting they were, quote, watching her. Chen Hua retired from acting shortly afterward, convinced her near accidents backstage were warnings, like, girl, you got to go. So where does this curse come from? There are several theories that have rose over the years. Number 1, possessed jewelry. Jade is believed to absorb emotional energy. These earrings may have bound the spirit of a jealous performer who died tragically. Another one is it could be a cursed gift. Some historians argue the earrings were originally created for a mistress of a wealthy patron whose wife murdered her out of jealousy.
Ooh.
And then, of course, you have the theater curse. Chinese opera culture is steeped in spiritual tradition. Bringing in unblessed jewelry may have invited dangerous spirits. But none of the explanations fully account for what have happened. So where are these earrings today? Jackae's wearing them. No.
They look so good.
The Shanghai opera earrings were eventually sealed in a velvet-lined box and placed in a private archive belonging to a retired theater historian. He refused to display them publicly, saying, quote, some objects were not made for the living to wear.
Interesting.
The box is rumored to still sit in that archive untouched. Historians claim that when the box is moved, they hear faint clinks from inside as though the earrings still sway on an unseen performer's ear.
You know, a really interesting fact about jade is the person is supposed to wear it until it breaks, and that is when the energy releases. So, yeah. So that makes me wonder if there is some energy issues with that. But jade is known, a lot of people will fit their hands into these like bracelets that are made for that and everything. And you were to wear that until it breaks. That means the energy has let you go.
Well, they didn't break.
They
broke them.
The energy is still there.
And that was the Shanghai opera earrings. I'm going to kick it over now to Feliz.
Yes. Very cool.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. Okay. We're staying in Asia for mine. But we're going to head on over to Japan. My cursed object is a sword, or rather a line of swords forged by a bladesmith known as Muramasa. So the legends claim that the blades possess a malevolent spirit, driving their wielders to madness and bloodlust, and it can even lead to self-harm or suicide. So the curse is a popular trope in fiction, and the most famous example is in Marvel Comics because Wolverine wields a mystical Muramasa blade, and it can nullify healing factors, which he constantly is, rehealing. And the legend has also inspired several Japanese video games and graphic novels. So here we go. Muramasa was a real person. He was a swordsmith who lived during the Muromachi period in the 14th through 16th centuries in Japan. And I mean, he didn't live that whole time. He just lived some time at some point during that time.
Oh, he's pretty old.
It's believed that his temper and supposed insanity has been imbued into every Muramasa blade, making them symbols of bloodlust and violence. He worked in Ise province in the early 1500s during an era of constant civil war. So his blades were some of the sharpest and most dependable weapons of the period, so effective that samurai specifically sought them out for battlefield use. But he wasn't a sorcerer or an eccentric recluse. He was simply a highly skilled craftsman, so we think. But the curse came later. It begins with one family, the Tokugawa, the clan that would eventually rule Japan for more than 250 years. So from the mid-1500s through the early 1600s, members of this line were repeatedly injured or killed by these blades. Not by supernatural forces, or maybe it was, but through accidents, betrayals, and political disasters that clustered so tightly together that the pattern became impossible to ignore. So Tokugawa Ieyasu was a powerful warlord who ended over a century of civil war and would become the first shogun of Japan in 1600. So it all started in 1535 when Tokugawa Ieyasu's grandfather was killed by one of his own retainers using a Muramasa katana sword. He was severed from shoulder to hip.
Ooh.
And the guy, the retainer, mistakenly thought that Ieyasu, the grandpa, had sentenced his father to death. So he was like, "Oh, you sentenced my father to death," and so he sliced him. And then actually, that didn't happen. That was not true.
Oops.
In 1540, oopsie, my bad. In 1545, Ieyasu's father was stabbed in the thigh with the Muramasa dagger by a loyal vassal who suddenly became violent. As a child himself, Ieyasu slashed himself with a small Muramasa knife. And that began his mistrust of these blades. So his grandpa got sliced, his dad got sliced, and then he cut himself in the leg. And so he's like,
He's like, screw these blades.
I don't like these blades.
I'm good. Let's put this up.
Yeah. So in 1579, Iyasu's son was accused of plotting against his lord. Ieyasu, he had to order his own son to commit ritual suicide by disembowelment because of this.
Oh.
He had to commit suicide.
What's that called?
I don't know.
I can't
There's a
remember.
name.
Okay.
During this ritual, there's a second guy who stood at the ready to decapitate him as a mercy. That sword used for the decapitation, yet another Muramasa. So by this point for Ieyasu, Muramasa blades have moved from excellent weapons to objects tied to every major personal loss in his life. But the incidents didn't stop there. 2 decades later, during the Sekigahara campaign, Ieyasu inspected the decapitated head of an enemy. The spear that killed this man had punched clean through the enemy's steel helmet. So Ieyasu demanded to see the spear that had done the damage. And of course, as he handled it, he cut himself.
This guy's got to be related to Dustin.
I don't know if the curse is the blade or this guy doesn't know how to handle a knife. But anyway, as after he cut himself, he was said to have muttered, "This must be a Muramasa," and he was right. Shortly after Iyasu's death, his grandson's brother was also forced to commit suicide. The blade he used, a Muramasa. So collectively, these events shaped a belief that Muramasa swords were dangerous to the Tokugawa family specifically, that they had an affinity for drawing Tokugawa blood. Whether Ieyasu and his family believed in a literal curse or simply feared the symbolism, the result was the same. The swords were effectively banned. In 1632, a magistrate and his son were condemned to death by suicide, not for their initial crimes, but because investigators found that they owned 24 Muramasa blades.
Oh,
Wow.
So they got a big... Yeah. After that, people began hiding or altering the signatures on the swords to avoid suspicion.
just cross it out.
Yeah.
Sharpie. Many of the surviving Muramasa blades today, and there are possibly a few dozen of them, bear those scars. They've been shaved, altered, or forged over inscriptions designed to distance their owners from the name. And yet, even at the height of the superstition, Muramasa swords never disappeared. They were too good. Experts today use temper pattern, forging texture, shape, and period features to identify unsigned blades as Muramasa works. So, I did something. Okay, sorry. Is the curse real? Historically, the pattern is real. The fear and the political consequences were real. And Muramasa, the fiery-tempered craftsman, never lived to see any of it. His reputation became a victim of timing, coincidence, and the anxieties of the most powerful family in Japan. That leaves us with one final question. Is this a story about a swordsmith who made cursed blades, or a story about fear, anger, and violence so deep, so generational, that it imprinted itself onto cold steel? Either way, every surviving Muramasa carries an odd weight in the hand. Not magic, not myth, but the memory of blood. Once you know its history, the blade just feels a little sharper than it should. That's what that guy thought too. Yeah. I'm like, it was hard. I was like, I don't know if this thing is actually cursed, but I think the family is just dumb with blades.
And they're all blonde. You know what this that reminds me of? Felice, you might be old enough to remember this. I don't know if these youngins will remember this, but I remember like you wake up early in the morning, right? You turn on the TV and there's that infomercial for the Jinsu knives, and they would cut through everything, like steel cans and everything.
I remember that. Yeah. Like the scissors that would cut pennies
They
and
would
things
cut through
like that.
cans and everything.
For 3
That's what it
easy
reminds me of.
payments of $19.99.
You could be the
They're
proud
actually
owner.
Muramasa blades. Yeah.
Call within the next 30 minutes and you get a second one free.
Just pay shipping and handling.
Oh my God.
I remember those late morning infomercials. Man, that's a lost thing. Infomercials.
Oh, dude, you remember like the greatest hits of the 80s?
Oh, yeah. Or my favorite was Monster Ballads.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I ain't going to lie, I bought that one.
Fast forward like 15 years later, just download it for free.
Yeah. Or rip it off of, what was it, Napster?
Napster, yeah. And infect your computer.
Yeah. What's this virus? I don't know,
I don't know.
Mom.
I didn't do anything.
I don't know.
Mom, I've only been, now we're 17 at this download. Come on.
I got 3 viruses trying to download the Harry Potter audiobooks. but they're so freaking good.
I didn't know where that was. I got 3 viruses.
I had to like reformat the hard drive, download
You
it
never
again.
really know it, Dustin.
Well, you said Harry Potter had 3 viruses. I say, okay, there's Ron, there's Hagrid. Who's the other one?
I don't know why you're a hater, man.
Because I don't watch kids movies. I watch
No, we
adult
watch
movies.
potatoes.
Yeah, second breakfast is
Oh, my gosh. All right. I'm handing it over.
All right. We're going to go to the far land of Chicago. I decided to do something I don't think you will ever do, so that way I don't take good quality topics from you, because being a teacher, you guys are used to talking to people. You got it down to a science. entertaining, great delivery. I got none of that, so that's why I'm last.
Hey, you're lucky. Feliz is an expert in Korean. Maybe she can learn Dustin and she can translate for us.
Hey, I'll translate.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help. So this is what happens when you like if for your students that are listening or their parents, for the people who hide.
Stay in school?
No. For the people who hide when it comes to public speaking, who like wait for the last day and then like hope the teacher gets sick so you don't have to do it. Or your teacher gets fired and you get out of it. Like that's happened.
Oh my gosh. What?
I don't do public speaking, so it's kind of odd that I'm doing this, but I'm gonna do the Curse of the Billy Goat. And
Okay, let's hear it.
If you're sports fans, which I am not a Cubs fan, I am a diehard Atlanta Braves fan.
Dustin, I'm done with you. Okay.
I'm not a Cubs fan, so I just figured I would use this topic today because I'll never talk about it again.
I am a huge Cubs fan, and I take that highly offensive.
The Curse of the Billy Goat is one of the most enduring and bizarre legends in American sports.
I keep trying to leave, and I'm like,
She's stuck at the table.
See, they like to interrupt me.
Oh, were you talking?
They like nothing more than to disrupt
what is
me.
this? You don't like it when I interrupt you? Like I don't like you don't like the fact that you don't like my Cubs? Okay.
Well, I hope in Key West that they're a part of Braves country down there
No, they're the
because
Florida Marlins, I'm sure.
because nobody likes the Marlins
Or Tampa Bay Rays.
and
All right,
nobody
I'm
shows
good
up to
now.
Tampa games, so they've got to be Braves fans.
All right, hissy fit over. Go ahead. Okay.
Actually, a little known
I'm a
fact,
Pittsburgh Pirates fan,
Andy's
so
a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, I'm sure, because she's from Pennsylvania.
I'm a huge Savannah Bananas fan too. So yes,
They're so cute.
I love the Savannah Bananas. Okay.
Hey, Indy's got a team, Indy
Hey,
Clowns.
screw the Indy Clowns. I want the bananas.
No, the
Good.
Clowns, that goes back to the Negro Leagues with Hank Aaron. It's like the Clowns are steeped.
It the clown, that's all I heard.
I just want the Savannah Bananas.
They'll play them though. But like,
Dustin, can you
I know.
please? They are teachers. They have
I
to
know.
teach tomorrow. Can you get
you
going?
guys are
Sorry,
disrupting.
that was my bad. I went off on a tangent.
You guys are disrupting me.
Every episode. I'm so
off
sorry.
again.
But just know that the
Got
Indy,
children. That's all.
Put him in timeout.
I give them their time, but they don't give me my time.
Are you guys sick of hearing 6'7" yet? Is that a thing down there?
I wish you could have seen Kiera. She just rolled her eyes, put her hand in her head.
My daughter's
At least it's not
17.
bad.
and
Like a lot of times they're bad. So at least this little meme or whatever it is meaningless.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
My daughter's 17, so she's like past that, but I just go to my way every time I can to be like, what time you getting up tomorrow? 6, 7?
Oh, yeah. You have to do that.
What's your-
You have.
Just
Take every
any chance
moment.
I get. And she's like, I don't use that. That is the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, I'm just going to make sure that you do hate it.
So my little
Yeah.
my little second cousin, she's like, I don't know, 8. We were over at Thanksgiving, and she's like, "Give me 5." Down low in heaven, 6, 7. And I was like, really?
Oh, we're taking that. I'm taking that. Oh, yeah.
So now that I've been interrupted, like always,
Sorry.
Okay, you got this.
the Curse of the Billy Goat is one of the most enduring and bizarre sports legends in American history. It began on October 6, 1945, in Game 4 of the World Series at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Tavern owner William Billy Cianis brought his pet goat, Murphy, to the ballpark. He bought a ticket for him. Why can't he come in? Complete with a sign reading, "We got Detroit's goat." While Cianis had purchased tickets for both of them, stadium officials soon claimed that Murphy's odor was unacceptable, forcing the pair to leave.
It probably wasn't the goat's owner. It's probably the owner's odor.
Outraged, Cianis allegedly declared, and like, I'm sorry, like he's made me read some bad stuff, and this is a hard one for me to say because it's just not right. Them Cubs, they ain't gonna win no more.
That's so good. Great job.
That's a tough one to just spit out because it's so wrong. But that, this guy was a genius. Like they said, he would hold. beauty
I'm really
competitions
holding my tongue here, Dustin.
with
Come on.
goats. Like he used goats for everything.
I don't
in
care
his
what he
marketing.
did with goats. Okay.
Well, he was a tavern owner. That was his logo.
Oh.
You can still go
Okay.
to
I went another way with that.
you can still go to the Billy Goat Tavern.
I love the Billy Goat Tavern.
Yeah.
You can go to the Billy
Cheeseburger, Pepsi, no Coke.
Yeah, it inspired the SNL skit and everything, and I've been there. It's okay. It's the lore. The guy looked at me and he was Russian, I think, and he looked at me and he was
Why
like,
you gotta put down everything I love, man? Come on.
he just looked at me, and I've got Brave stuff on. And he just looked at me like in disgust and was like, cheeseburger,
No Coke,
no Coke,
Pepsi.
I'm like, you ain't got to go through it because usually it's more upbeat, but he was having nothing to do with me.
So he seen you and he was like, cheeseburger, 2 Cokes. No Pepsi.
That was in my skinnier days. So some accounts suggest that he even sent a telegram to the team's owner that the Chicago franchise is now cursed. That day, whether by coincidence or legend, the Cubs lost the World Series to the Detroit Tigers, and the narrative of the supernatural jinx began to take hold. In the years immediate following 1945, the Cubs' misfortunes only seemed to reinforce the curse. During the late 40s and early 50s, the team repeatedly squandered opportunities to compete, often in dramatic and heart-breaking fashion. Games that should have been solidified with their standing ended in improbable errors, blown leads, and then kind of like how the Braves did for a while, late season collapses, which, you know, a lot of us are known for that. It's 162 games. It definitely plays a toll on you, and you can be up top and you're down in the fighting for a wild card spot before you know it. So, like I said, we had these late season collapses. It baffled the fans and analysts alike. Newspapers, radio shows, and the word of mouth kept the Murphy and the GOAT story alive. The public loved this. It ran in their imagination. It turned the story into a symbol of Chicago's collective disappointment. Fans began leaving small goats at the stadium, wearing goat-themed attire, and joking, blaming Murphy for every near miss, every collapse, everything that they could do to just blame the Cubs sucking on something. And that's Murphy the GOAT. The 1960s and 70s only deepened this legend. The Cubs came tantalizing close to pennants, but faltered in the critical games leading up, often in ways that seemed impractical, improbable. Rainouts, wild pitches, improbable fielding errors, they were all attributed to Murphy's lingering presence. Around the time players named Murphy began to appear, the narrative of the curse further cemented the superstition. So players like Atlanta Braves outfielder Dale Murphy destroyed the Cubs, just like Chipper Jones destroyed the New York Mets. They seen that and they're like, okay, this is another way that this curse is coming back to get us. Like I said, Murphy was clutch at improbable times. It fed the folklore. The notion that a name alone could carry such bad luck and an eerie dimension to the legend, especially with Daniel Murphy in 2015, who played for the New York Mets, homered in 6 straight playoff games, eliminating the Chicago Cubs from the National League Championship Series. Fans jokingly or nervously viewed him as the human manifestation of Murphy the GOAT himself. It's so good you can't make it up. Throughout all of this, the Murphy family, the owners of Murphy's Bleachers as well, in Wrigleyville, became kind of stewards of this story. They hosted goats at the stadium, symbolic ceremonies, and encouraged fans to participate in curse-breaking rituals. It also kept the legend alive across multiple generations. The curse became more than just bad luck. It became a cultural touchstone for the Chicago Cubs. An explanation for decades of near misses, heartbreaks, misfortune, every blown season, every late game collapse, every playoff disappointment seemed to lead back to the curse of the Billy Goat. Finally, well, we got to go back before we go finally. So the Murphy family finally was able to bring a goat in 2015 to Wrigleyville and into Wrigley Field, and they think that broke the curse of the Billy Goat. And maybe it did, because the Cubs did win the World Series in 2016, and they'll never let you forget about it.
Yeah.
It only took like 108 years. The only good thing that happened to that.
Such a big deal. They finally broke the curse.
The only good thing about the Cubs winning the World Series, and I was my brother's a diehard Cubs fan, and I was rooting for Cleveland so much. When they won, we got $8 Chicago hot dogs at a place in town, and that was the only good thing that came out of that. So, under the leadership of Theo Epstein and the front office, they finally were able to win the National League pennant for the first time in 71 years. Symbolically, the Murphy family, like I said, they once again brought goats to Wrigley Field to ceremoniously lift that curse. Like I said, they beat the Cleveland Indians in a 108-year drought. The fans and the Cianis family and the Murphys celebrated together, bringing closure to the decades of superstition, heartbreak, eerie coincidence involving players named Murphy. So, kind of Murphy's Law. They kind of picked that up with anybody named Murphy.
Oh my God.
So, what began as ejecting a smelly old goat had grown into one of the most fascinating sports legends in history, blending folklore, tragedy, and maybe even a tale of redemption. And it's pretty much created a story that diehard Cubs fans are going to tell for the rest of their lives. It's become more than just a legend, just a curse. It's ingrained in the fabric of sports. I was going to go a little bit deeper, and as a Braves fan, I was going to talk about all the collapses that they had. And
I think you did fine.
we were going to talk about, trying to bring goats in like the 70s, getting denied, all that stuff. But we've kept you ladies long enough. We appreciate you guys coming on.
But before we go, Dustin, we do have our missing child for this episode.
Yeah, so the missing child for this episode is named Alana Jade Vargas, case number M788700413. She's been missing since October 21st, 2025 in Clermont, Florida. Her age is 17 years old, and she was last seen on October 21st, 2025. She may stay in the local area, or she may travel to other cities in Florida. If you have seen her or know anything about her whereabouts, please call the Clermont Police Department at 1-352-394-5588.
Good job, Kira.
Yes.
Well, ladies, we want to thank you for coming on. I know it was a long time coming, and we had a little technical difficulties there at the beginning, but we thank you for coming on and taking a little bit of your busy weekday to come in and spend some time with us.
Thanks so much for having us. We were honored to be here.
Yes, that was so fun. It's so nice meeting you guys.
Absolutely.
Sorry it took so long.
That's all right.
Jimbo's
maybe I should start
teasing.
now for like a summer date, huh?
Jimbo's like, maybe we could do a live show and we'll go to Key West. I'm like, he's got all these big ideas.
I've got big
I was going to
plans.
say, like, if you're doing summer, you get about 4 of us that may have trouble with that.
All right, so
Oh my gosh.
well, this has
Well,
been.
we would love.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say we would love to have you on our show as well. So we can maybe in 6 months. No,
We'll play around and try to see if we can't figure out what the audio issue was. And
Well,
Yeah.
Feliz, I'm going to send you this audio anyway and send it to you so you can release it on yours too. So that way you can get them those too. So,
Yeah.
but
awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
oh,
We
no
always
problem.
love meeting fellow.
it's definitely our pleasure.
Yeah, anytime. But this has been Dark Discoveries.
Where the deeper you dive.
The darker it gets.
Dustin, get the